Hello everyone and welcome back to another Trenton World 3 patch notes video. This is as of the 4th of April. So this is from Dovetail Games Alex. Good morning folks. Today we have a large update to bring improvements for our recently released US content, New York to Trenton and the Amtrak Acela. This includes a range of fixes for the Access and ATC system, ensuring our introductions and tutorials function correctly, and preloading our Easter assets in advance of a themed mastery in-game event which will be starting from tomorrow. So these are for core, fix trains glowing or flickering when in dark stations and tunnels when it is raining. For the Access and ATC fixes and improvements, so various improvements and fixes to the Access and ACES. Fixed access from showing a negative speed enforcement in non-access territory when active. Access now falls back to ATC if both systems are enabled but not in access territory. If ATC is not cut in but access is, access limits to a non-active or error speed of 79 miles an hour. Entering access territory no longer triggers a penalty when access is not cut in. Improved handling of alarm resets, such as if the ATC causes the alarm when the access becomes active. You couldn't reset the ATC alarm since your acknowledgement went to the access system. Many updates to systems with variations between access and ACES. Fix bad behaviour where certain locations on the Trenton route would cause access to fail. Adjusted required brake pipe pressures for suppression state. Training centre. Improvements to visuals and collisions inside the training centre building. Added NPCs idling around the training centre building and don't make eye contact, they get nervous. Fixed floating trees and removed scenery that was placed over roads and roundabouts. Fixed billboards facing the wrong direction, preventing them from being seen. Tunnels should now have correct lighting throughout the day-night cycle, and player can no longer walk through various rocks and pillars. And also the Easter event, they've added some bits and bobs in the game across their training centre starting April the 5th. I'm guessing that'll probably be an Easter egg hunt. New York Trenton, introductions, tutorials and scenarios, improvements to tutorials for the ALP 46 and ACS 64. The closed doors objective will now require the doors to be closed in the Amfleet cab car introduction. Added the press to brake cut-in objective to cab to the race scenario. Ensured locos are correctly set up for ATCS and access introductions. Reduced NPC aggression towards the player by 75%, so passengers will no longer bump the player away from the introduction starting points. Signalling, a large range of fixes across the route covering improved aspects to increase player speeds, fixing signals showing invalid aspects and other visual errors. Route art, adjusted and tweaked lighting at multiple stations where it needed correcting or appears too dark. Connected overhead poles at Harrison Station and improved placements at Sunnyside Yard. Fixed 2 signals on track 18 at Penn Station that were not attached to the track. Removed helium inside trees and cars to prevent floating scenery and vehicles across the route. Improvements to reduce how often you see the white light at the end of unloaded tunnels. Added whistleboards to East River Tunnel entrances. And for gameplay, players can no longer escape from Edison Station. Players can no longer walk through the benches at Elizabeth Station. Added go-vias to service timetables in Scenario E. NPCs will now correctly disembark from all stations. Improvements made to various formations, so doors now correctly open on the correct sides. Signal heads in the East River tunnels now have 6 lamps with red, yellow and green lamps on the bottom heads. White centre lamp on Spider Signal at Newark Penn Station, track 5 will no longer light up. Updates to railway station track speed restrictions. Updated signal head on track 3 at Lack Interlocking to have red, yellow and green lamps. Fixed issues with the signal after the car wash at Sunnyside Yard. General improvements and fixes made to signals to prevent flashing white aspects. Fixed the motion blur on wheels on Amfleet vehicles and cab car. Corrected font colour on Amfleet cars. And for the ALP 46, fixed passenger door interlock becoming stuck. Traction lock will now update correctly when operating passenger doors. Train doors should now correctly open and close in unison. Fixed safety systems being active despite being set to cut out. Changed cab desk light controls to show on and off based on state. Improved EP brake cutting functionality behaviour. Fixed alerter enabled state to take into account reverser being off and cab disabled. Prevents cases of alerters going off in disabled cabs. For the buy levels, front PIS will change to display the current destination. Passengers will no longer board the cab through the walls. Updated coupler position to have an inner metal plate touching and adjusted animations for side barriers. Improved weather materials for rain effects. For the cab car, fixed lock both buttons to correctly close both sets of doors. For the ACS 64, fixed door indicators. And for the Acela, fix an issue preventing safety systems from resetting after being tripped. With access cut-in, if approaching a stop signal from the ATC cab aspect will downgrade to a stop signal aspect within the range of the signal. Approaching a stop signal with access cut-in, the ATC cab aspect will downgrade to a stop signal aspect when within range of a signal. Overspeed and suppression indicators will now update correctly and fix an issue caused by enabling safety systems before activating the cab. And there we go, that felt like it took a little while. So quite a big fix there for the New York Trenton route. And also a bit of side news, Tram Sim is going to be coming to console on April the 25th, which is being published by Dovetail Games. But yeah, put your thoughts in the comments below. What did you think? Links can be found in the usual places: Discord, PayPal, merch store. Apart from that, thanks all for coming in, and I hope to see you next time. See you all, and take care. Bye, guys.